Hello, everyone, and welcome to this week's edition of the Comic Shop Adventures, my weekly excursion where I leave the homestead here at Athletic Geek HQ in search of my bounty of comics, graphic novels, action figures, collectibles, and all things in between. First things first, time to talk about what stood out from last week's bounty, and can't talk about last week's bounty without talking about Mr. and Mrs. X, the number 12, the final issue. Just a really just good way to put an end to a great series. It may not have been, the most kick-ass ending to a series, in comics history, but just for fans of Gambit and Rogue, just really, really touching, very, very nice way to end this series, and a happy ending, which all these relationship type comics usually end with something tragic or some kind of deus ex machina or some kind of retcon, but slight spoiler alert, this one didn't, and it just had a happy ending that left fans of this relationship and both those characters, speaking as one of them, I feel like it left me satisfied. I know that there's probably gonna be someone that disagrees with me, but I was really satisfied with the ending. I was just really, really happy to have been able to read this book as long as I did, and I'm disappointed that it's not continuing. But I hope that Marvel can see through how great of a series that this was, that there is a market for more Rogue and Gambit centric stuff with the X-Men. So yeah, hopefully. Hopefully nothing bad happens with this upcoming X event to really disappoint me, especially with what a great series that was. So hats off to Kelly Thompson for a great series. Detective Comics was really well done with the Spectre. Analyzing the body of just like kind of like there's a dead cop, and I can't really get into too much detail without spoiling it, but there's a cop that had been murdered, and the Spectre keeps repeating something about the cop, and it's just really, I'm confused but interested, and I really want to see where Tomasi's going to take this with the next issue of Detective when it comes out. And then finally, the Flash, just this year one story arc's been really, really fun, and the ending has me super pumped for what's going to happen with the next one. If you can get me excited for what happens next, that's a good comic in my opinion. And the Flash, he's just really kind of discovering his powers, and apparently in this book he let something go that in the future it's going to come back and haunt him. And because of all the time travel, with this, you get an interesting dynamic that you aren't able to get with like other superheroes and their origin stories. So they're taking good advantage of this dynamic with the Flash year one. But yeah, that was pretty much it from last week's bounty. I will see you when I get back at the homestead with this week's bounty. Hey everyone, I am back here at the homestead here at Athletic Geek HQ. Got somewhat of a different bounty this week, and let's not waste more time. Let's get right to it. The first book I picked up this week is Rocko's Modern Afterlife, number 4. It is the conclusion of the Rocko's Modern Afterlife May series. It's been a fun, not perfect, but a fun little look at the Rocko characters in a modern setting. No pun intended. And it's just been it's been a fun little book. Issue 2 is kind of meh, but for the most part, 1 and 3 were really cool, really captured the spirit of Rocko, and then just added the new quips that they didn't have in 1994, 95, and 96. Things like that they couldn't use to tell stories on the original cartoon, but they can use them in this comic, and I've really enjoyed it so far, and I really would like to see how everything concludes. So, Rocko's Modern Afterlife, number 4. And on the same note of miniseries, we have Batman and the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 3, number 3, and yeah, just another great little the first two have been really cool and really well written. Two sets of characters that you wouldn't normally think would play off of each other as well have like some of the best chemistry in comics between characters with under different banners. So yeah, it's been an okay book so far. The first one was still probably my favorite, but we'll see. We'll see how this final crossover between Batman and the Turtles plays out. So, Batman and TMNT 3, number 3. From there, we go to The Green Lantern, number 9. And it's the start of a new story arc. Last one's kind of a one and done. This, from what I've read, is a new story arc being started by Morrison, or like maybe the next part. I really don't know how to describe it with just with this all kind of just being one run by Morrison. It's kind of the next phase, I guess, if you will. And yeah, this book's been up and down, but the previous issue with Green Arrow was just so well written that it's got me optimistic again about the future of this book. So yeah, looking forward to it, and looking forward to what Morrison has in store for Hal with this what looks like a new villain for him, or a take on an old villain. We will see. The Green Lantern, number 9. From there, we go to Justice League, number 27. It's the year of the villain, the offer, it says. And, it's kind of they've been teasing this quite a bit with these, with the last few issues of Justice League. And we're going to see what this year of the villain, what it means to the DC Universe, and what it means to the Justice League. So I'm intrigued. It's not being written by Scott Snyder anymore, but he did kind of set this up really well. So we'll see how Tinian the Fourth can continue with what's been set up. I'm a fan of his writing. He's doing the Batman TMNT. He had a great run on Detective Comics. So he's been writing the villain tie-ins when Snyder would take a month off and they do like a Legion of Doom issue of Justice League. He was the one writing it, so if you're going to have a Year of the Villains, there ain't nobody better than him to write a story arc out of that. So looking forward to reading this one, and I really hope it's good. Justice League, number 27. From there, we go to Savage Avengers, number 3, and this has been a good book so far. Just right now, they're still kind of setting up this motley crew of Avengers character, or motley crew of people that will become Avengers, I would assume, with the Punisher and Wolverine and Conan, and they're still kind of getting all the chips together before they can trust each other, I guess, to start the main plot of them all being together. But the journey to getting there is going to, hopefully is as good as... It makes the destination, really cool to get to. It's a good journey is always really nice, and I've liked the first few issues so far, and I'm hoping this one keeps it up. Jay Dugan's a great writer. I loved his run on Deadpool, and, he can write more than just comedy. He proved that with his Deadpool run. He can do comedy, he can do serious, and this is obviously a little bit more of a serious book, so we're seeing just how great of a writer Jerry Dugan is. Savage Avengers, number 3. We go from there to Uncanny X-Men, number 21, and from what I've heard, this is the conclusion of this story arc as it leads into the crossover and event book with the X-Men that's coming this summer. And just kind of gonna read it and see how that will have an effect on what happens next, and then read the event book, because it's not been a bad book, but it's not really been something I've been excited about. So, but I'll pay special close attention to this ending so I can know what to expect with the upcoming ramifications this event book will have with the X-Men. Uncanny X-Men number 21. And finally, to finish it off this week, we have Dead Man Logan number 9. Logan is getting ready to face Sabretooth one more time, or at least this version of Logan will be facing off with Sabretooth one more time. Been a great book. Even in previous incarnations, it's been really well written, and really looking forward to see how Logan and Sabretooth, see how what might be a final battle, see how that turns out. So, yeah, really excited about this one, and well, what more can be said, you know? And that is it for a very under the weather and sick comic shop adventure this week. Let me know what you picked up at your local comic shop in the comments section below. If you enjoyed this video and would like to see others like it, like ones where I'm not really feeling quite as sick, please subscribe. Please give this video a like, give it a share. Go like the Facebook page for more content at facebook.com/athleticgeek89. For more content, I have content not just from the world of comic books, but from the world of pro wrestling, gaming, and all things geek culture. And on my Facebook page is my Collection Comic of the Week blog every Thursday. That is exclusive to my Facebook page. But other than that, I'm out. Y'all be cool. Later.